All right, here it is, my mom's recipe for my favorite childhood meal. Speaking of childhood, this week's adventure takes us back to the North Country, my hometown where I grew up. I'm in my parents' kitchen right now. Anyone who knew me when I was a kid will tell you I love two things when it came to eating: pizza and Michigans. What are Michigans, you might ask? Well, that's a very good question. It's unique here to the North Country. I'm gonna explain, but it really all comes down to the sauce. Man, it smells good. We're about to go on a culinary adventure, and you're invited.
Ground beef, and finely mashed.
Not a chili dog.
It doesn't have beans in it like a Cincinnati chili does. Not quite like a taco sauce.
A lot of people prefer it with a little bit more of a kick to it.
It tastes really good, I know that.
It's spicy meat, and you put it on top of more meat. And what could go wrong?
Let's start at the top. There are 4 key elements that make up this North Country delicacy. A steamed roll.
It does a really nice job giving it just a little kind of sweet, sugary taste.
A boiled hot dog.
We use the Mackenzie hot dog from Vermont.
Mustard, chopped onions on top of or buried beneath the sauce.
If you like onions.
And the most important part, the sauce.
Ours is a little spicier than everybody else's.
Mike Farrell and his older brother opened McSweeney's Red Hots in Plattsburgh in 1991.
And this is the best in the North Country right here.
30 years later, the exact flavor behind this popular topping is hard to pinpoint.
I've never actually been asked that. What does it taste like? I say, if you really want to know, come on in. I'll give the first one on me and let me know if you like it. I mean, it's got its own flavor. It tastes like a Michigan, you know?
Across town, Kerry Garcia is carrying on an 80-year-long tradition. He took over the successful Claire and Carl's Red Hots 6 years ago. His sauce has a distinct taste, fueled by a mystery ingredient.
How closely guarded is your secret?
Okay. I'm the only one that knows it.
You're the only one?
Yeah.
You don't trust any of your workers?
My wife doesn't know it. Well, obviously there's ground beef, and then you see that there's spices that are in it, and then you can see that it's put on the stove.
What's the secret?
All right, well, Mike slipped up and told me what the secret ingredient was, but his secret's safe with me. I'm not going to reveal it. And yes, I do like ketchup on my Michigan. Don't make fun of me. Let's take a bite.
That was so good.
Okay, Mike didn't really tell us. But there's another good question to answer. Why do they call them Michigans anyway?
So I looked around the country. I went to Michigan to look for Michigan.
Well, you won't find one in Michigan, but there is a connection in a story that dates back to the 1920s.
From what my understanding is, the lady that kind of brought the recipe, her name was Eula Otis, was from Michigan. Where Nitzy's is, one of our locations, that was the first location, and it was originally called the Michigan hot dog stand. And out there they call them Coney dogs.
Do you believe that? You think that's true?
I don't think it matters, to be honest. You know, at this point, we're already down the road.
Officially, where the recipe and the name came from is unknown.
And that's kind of the fun part of it.
Michael Cashman is the Plattsburgh town supervisor and a Michigan enthusiast. Last year, he officially designated July as the month of the Michigan.
So we do a passport program where we encourage people to pick up a passport and go to all the different Michigan stands within the town of Plattsburgh. And then every year we're going to build upon this buried culture. And
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly.
The eventual goal is a one-day festival, capitalizing on the enduring popularity of the Michigan, all while spreading the word about this unique North Country cuisine.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, 6 hours later, my mom's Michigan sauce is finally ready to eat. So without further ado, time to take a taste.
Yeah. As they say, nothing beats home, especially when it comes to Michigans. For Empire Adventures, I'm Casey Bortnick. Robert, it's your turn.
So good. In addition to the month-long celebration and the Michigan Passport Program, the town was able to secure a grant through the Pomeroy Foundation for an historical marker near Claire and Carl's and the original Nitzy's. You can see it right there. Designed to give the Michigan its proper place in North Country lore and history.
You had your parents working overtime. I heard you had your mother had to pop out the recipe and everything.
I tried to get them to come on TV and they wouldn't do it. They're a little camera shy, not like their son.
Well,
I'm not camera shy.
Yeah, no, not at all. But that that Michigan that they made, it looked really good.
It is so good, and I'm just so happy I was able to share a bit of my childhood with all of you out there and with you. Now you know what a Michigan is.
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I'll ever be eating one, but
You're going to. We'll bring one to you.
You got to bring me a Michigan Light.
Whatever it takes. You're
You know.
getting one.